Great, you did it.
Okay, cool. This is so... Hi, everyone.
Doesn't it feel fancier?
Yeah, I feel so fancy. I need this closer to me.
I don't know that it actually looks fancier in execution on the camera, but
I think it looks fancy.
I know.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Middle Ground. I'm Caroline.
And I'm Joe.
And if you don't follow us on YouTube, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? It's 2023. You need to follow us on YouTube.
I yesterday posted a question box about Matt and I's podcast, and in the answers, like, of things people want to see in 2023, and people were like, a video. We want to see a video podcast in 2023. Like, well, then where have you been? Because this has always been video.
You're like, look on it.
Yeah. So if you're not watching this on video, that's okay. You don't have to. It's just Caroline and me vibing. All vibes.
I don't watch YouTube podcasts. Like, I personally don't.
Will occasionally put on a podcast via YouTube, like whenever I am doing my hair or makeup, if I don't feel like listening to music, because I like being able to put a video on and have something to kind of glance at.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to watch it. And there's so little YouTube content that you don't have to watch.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if it's just a podcast.
Which then makes really no sense as to why you want to watch it versus just listen to it. But I do. So
That's a whole different story. But
yeah.
Anyways, welcome back, everyone. We're back. Happy
back and better than ever.
whatever day it is.
Multiple
for you.
people also DM'd me yesterday. I'm all in my feels. Being like, yeah, I like your podcast with Matt, but can oversharing, or not oversharing, can Middle Ground come back consistently? Like, where it's here every week and we know it's going to be? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
Sorry,
team.
Caroline should not apologize. That is not her. It has been a crazy couple of months.
Yep.
But we're back.
Yeah, and we're doing it. We're doing the dang thing. We're recording. We're happy to be back. It's so fun talking on a mic. I love it.
Yeah.
This is my grounding moment, so it blends in perfectly.
All right, let's go.
I saw Shaun White yesterday. I met him.
I was so excited to hear about this.
So excited. But side story, and then I'll tell you about Shaun White. But Brock Entertainment was the host.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't know who that is, he's a local amazing DJ entertainment person in our area. And anyway, so he was up there and he saw us in the crowd because he knows who we are, obviously. And he came by with a microphone and he interviewed us because we were in line waiting for him. But there was little things you could watch. Like, people were going down actual snow slopes that they made. And
where was this?
What?
Where was this?
It was in a Walmart parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Yeah. So, and then there was professional trampolinist. I don't know what the correct term is, but they went to the trampoline Olympics. So they were bouncing and
where they go super high
and
Whoa.
have a wall that they flip off of.
Oh, what is that called? It has a name. Anyway,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
So they were there. Anyway, so Brock comes out into the audience and is starting to ask people questions, but he asked us first because he knew us to warm the crowd up. And he put the microphone in my face and I was so about it. I was talking. And then he walked away and I was like, oh my gosh, if that happened to me 5 years ago, I would be so embarrassed.
If that happened to you 2 years ago,
I'd be so embarrassed, but I was all about it.
When we were still in the closet, Caroline had to
clarify, recording in the closet.
Oh, yeah. Good clarification. Whenever we were recording in the closet, still at the very beginning of the podcast, we would sit in there, and that's hilarious that that's how we started and where we are now.
I know.
But it worked for us. But we would sit in there, and Caroline would be like,
literally.
And she'd have to talk herself through because she got so nervous to talk on the mic, and it was just us.
It was literally Joe and I, in close. I was okay,
close.
5, 6, 7, 8. I had to really prep myself. But then Brock came over and I was I had this moment of wow, look at me. Because I was answering the questions and being funny on the mic. And then my brother was there as well. So I'll tell you about Shaun White. So long story short, he came to Bentonville to, he's partnering with, this is so bad of me, a
Walmart?
chip brand. Yeah, a Walmart chip brand. So he's it's a 360 twists, which are chips, and he has like 3 of them, and it was all sponsored by them. So Shaun White was there, like meet and greet. You can meet him. And Chris actually told me about it, and so I was like, okay, we have to sign up. And like, of course, I'm obsessed with Shaun White. Not obsessed, but like, who doesn't love Shaun White?
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. And my brother looks a lot like Shaun White. Like, we've always said that since we knew of Shaun
He really
White.
does.
Yeah. And so I was like, Matt, will you have to go? Like, will you come with me? And he's like, yeah. So my mom, Matt, and I went. And in the crowd, like, again, Brock came over to us. And then he's like, we got a Shaun White doppelganger in the house. And, like, handed the phone to Mike. Or not Mike, to Matt. And am I okay? He handed the mic to Matt.
Matt
said,
is her brother.
Yes. And said, what's your name? He said, Matt. But my brother's really shy. And so he was like, Matt. And he's like, you should have said John White. Like, haha. And he's like joking with everyone. And anyway, so that happened. We're standing in line. Then we finally met him. He was great. Like, but I just felt so bad for him because there were so many people in line. And
Yeah.
like, that's a lot. Like, that is a lot. Like, being on. And I'm like, okay, it's his job. Like, it's part of it. But like, hi, how are you? How's it going? Like,
He's super personable, isn't he?
Yeah,
Like,
he's
that's what I've
very
heard
nice.
about him. I've never met him. But
yeah, he's very nice. And it's funny because like, he's just a normal person. Like, I wasn't like, oh my gosh. Like,
Right.
oh my gosh. But so I just walked out. I'm like, hi, I'm Caroline. And like, he was like, nice to meet you, Caroline. And then my mom was like, because honestly, like, I think a middle ground episode, we talked about who you would have around your dinner table,
Oh, yeah.
like famous people.
Yeah.
And mine is Shaun White, Michael Phelps, Obama, and Post Malone. So I was like, oh, Shaun White's on it. And so my mom like told him that. And I'm like, Mom, you're embarrassing me.
That's amazing.
He goes, oh, so were you a snowboarder? I was like, F no. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm actually a swimmer, or was. And he's like, oh, like Michael Phelps is a great guy. We like talked about that. And then he was like, okay, bye. Like, bye.
That's really funny.
But people brought like their snowboards for him to sign. Like,
I'm
all
sure.
this stuff.
Well, and I didn't really think about it, but I bet there are a lot of people who snowboard that live in Northwest Arkansas because we don't have snow here. Not like that. But I like extreme sports.
Yeah.
People come here to mountain bike and move here because of all the access to the
Right.
mountain biking and everything. And so I'm sure it's the same crowd that's traveling to snowboard, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because like in Moose Jaw, which is a company, we have it now in downtown Bentonville. They sell skis and snowboards. But,
Yeah.
like, we do not have snow here. I mean, we do, but not like mountains. And so yeah, like
not snowboarding. It's
no,
it's
no.
just
Like,
not
you
the
can't do that.
environment. No.
And so yeah, like him asking that wasn't weird,
Yeah.
but I was like, negative, Ghost Rider. Like, I do not do that.
Have you ever snowboarded?
No, I've never snowboarded. I've skied and I hated every second of it.
Yeah, I've never
Never
been. I've never done either.
I think I would like snowboarding better. I've always said that, but I don't want to break my arm. Like, I feel like I would break my arm. Like, you like
That's
fall
totally valid because
easily.
I feel like so many people I know, their broken bone stories are
Yeah.
snow related.
Right. It's just dangerous. But anyways, so that's my grinding moment. He was great. He was shorter than I thought.
He's only like 5'8", isn't
Yeah,
he?
which makes sense because like imagine like a 6-foot person riding on a snowboard, like doing all those tricks. Like, that would be kind of hard. And so like he has to be like close to the ground. I'm like, that makes sense.
I have no idea.
I mean, they make like a surfer
Science.
and
I
like
have no idea. Physics.
all of that. It makes sense to
Yeah.
me. But like I said, my brother looks a lot like him, and so because we didn't prep my mom, but again, my brother's more shy than I am, and so I was like in the car before. I was like, Mom, like, please don't say anything about Matt in front of Shaun White. Like, oh, you look like my son. I'm like, don't do that. And so instead she embarrassed me, which I was fine. But it should even embarrass me. Like, I'm sure he's heard it all. But I was like laughing. I'm like,
Yeah, that didn't like ring the bell of anything memorable.
Yeah,
Probably
no.
for him. He hears all kinds of things.
yeah, he hears. And we're like, welcome to Arkansas, like all the basics. But yeah, it was a great time. Glad I got to meet him. I've
Isn't it
never stood in line for a person like that, ever.
I don't think I know I haven't.
Like, isn't
I
that
can't name a
weird?
time I've ever done that.
Like, we were standing in line. I'm like, I've never met a celebrity like this.
I've never met very many celebrities, I don't think.
I don't know. I don't know like the average, but I don't feel like I have either.
And I don't know if it's that I haven't met them or if I just don't think about it in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to, I mean, I know I haven't met them. I'm not saying that they're not relevant, but like, it wouldn't, you know how like when you talk to people, they're like, yeah, there was this one time I was at the airport and I sat next to,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whoever.
Mickey Mouse, and it was the craziest ever, and that's like a huge memory for them.
Yes.
I don't know that it registers like that for me.
I think that's true for me too, because again, I think I have met more people than I don't even know most, but I feel like I have. But like, yeah, if you ask me who I met, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I can't
But
remember.
then if that person comes up, I'm like, they were so nice.
Yeah.
I interacted with them at that. Like, it's not that I'm not wowed by them.
Right.
Because, like, obviously Shaun White's very impressive.
Right. Like, very. I'm like, wow.
Have you met Michael Phelps?
I haven't. He's on my list. His children are the cutest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't know what his children look
Oh
like.
my God. They're gorgeous, which doesn't surprise me because his wife is also gorgeous. I mean, he's handsome, but the wife's like killer.
Michael Phelps, I don't think is a looker.
I mean, he's not like,
He
wow.
is, no, he is awkward.
Yeah. He's like gangly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But his children, man,
It worked out for him.
they're the cutest kids
I just had
ever.
to check Caroline because she was being nice. And that was very nice. And I'm not saying he's a bad looking guy.
Oh, be nice. I was like, be nice.
No, I felt like you were
Yeah.
being nice. I feel like I had to check you to be like, okay, say what you really think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And it's funny because it's like, again, yeah, he's not my type. Like, I wouldn't go for Michael Phelps, but like, since he's Michael Phelps, I'm like, yeah, he's cute. But I'm like, why does our brain do that?
I don't know.
Isn't that
Success,
weird? I guess.
security.
But it's like, I don't really care about, like, I wouldn't go, like, sought after Michael Phelps just because
Well, he's pretty married.
I mean, yeah. And I have a boyfriend, so that wouldn't work out. Oh, and I went to Presley Page, a local.
I didn't get to go. I want to hear about it.
So it was so good. And it's like a soft opening, and they have a couple touches to do. My mom helped design it. So it's a gift and party store if you're not local to NWA. And our friend Maggie owns it. She's amazing. But what was I going to say? Oh, I got a candle. I got a couple things, but I got a candle, and the scent is I don't know what the scent is, but it says like a little thing on it. It says "ditch the boyfriend, kept the cologne," and I got it. And Maggie's like, "Are you still dating Chris?" I'm like, "Yeah."
You were like, I just like the
Like,
way
I
it
was so
smelled.
confused why she said that. She's like, "Oh, and you're getting this candle." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What? Like, will he care?" I'm like, "I no. Like, why would he care?" And then I brought it home. I'm like, "Look at that candle," and he's like, smelt it immediately. Like, he didn't even read it. I'm like, "Read it," and he's like, "Oh, funny." Like, he did not care. I'm like,
No.
It's not funny.
That is funny. It makes sense, the thought process, though.
Yeah. And she was like asking, like, "Wait a second." I'm like, "No, I just like it."
What about all that was your grounding moment?
Meaning Shaun White.
Yeah? I just wanted to know.
Oh, yeah.
I was just curious because you didn't like establish.
Meaning Shaun White.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What's yours?
I have no idea. I was hoping you were going to talk more than that and it was going to give me a moment to mentally prepare, but
I feel like I talked a lot.
no, you did, but like I forgot that it was about to be my turn. So
Oh.
then I was going to try and anyway, not important. Everything's fine. Oh, my grounding moment is that yesterday I had my first full day of do nothing in, I don't know, it's been a minute. Like we've had slower weeks. Like our lives have definitely been getting into a more steady pace rather than so much rapid fire where it's been go, 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 just with moving and getting the house done and just everything going on. We've had a lot of chaos and we've had some slower days, which I've been really appreciative. But yesterday I got up, I had some goals of what I wanted to get done that day. I got none of that done. I took a nap.
Nice.
G and I hung out. We had a dance party. We ate good food. We wandered around. We did bath time. We pulled cups out of the water and went, wow, over and over again for like 25 minutes. And I really enjoyed it. I don't feel like I get very many days like that where I can do nothing and accomplish nothing on my to-do list, but I don't feel bad about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, what are you
I'm
doing?
messing with my mic.
Yeah? You're really quiet now.
Well, I was really quiet at the beginning. That's not why I started messing with my mic. So maybe I should just talk louder.
Are you still really quiet?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I mean, if I talk like that, it's fine.
Okay. Just making sure.
Anyways, I'm glad you had that relaxing day.
That was my
We had our mothers over, Chris's mom and my mom, for dinner last night.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom said that she had a really lazy day yesterday too. And I'm like, oh, like, so you did nothing? Like, what? we were just talking, and she's like, no, I read 3 books.
Wow.
I was
That
like,
sounds fabulous.
3 books? Like, that is like a speed reader, my friend.
But I get that being a lazy day.
Yeah. But I'm like,
Physically
that's good for
lazy,
you.
but
Like,
you really used your brain.
yeah.
That's
Reading
good.
3 books. And it was like a series she was reading. I'm like, wow, knock that out.
I am guilty of that. That's why I have a hard time reading consistently, because I go 0 to 100. Like, when I'm reading something, nothing can stop me. I'm like, the rest of my life does not exist.
I'm in this
Child, sorry, you're going to have to wait till this book is over.
Yeah.
And that's why I have to be really careful. And I won't sleep.
Oh, you'll stay up.
Oh, yeah. Till the
See,
book's done.
I am not like that. I used to be like, if I'm in bed and read a book, I'll fall asleep immediately. I'm not like that anymore. But I'm like a chapter finisher. Like, I'm like, okay, finish the chapter, go to bed.
Do you know the people that amaze me?
What?
I think Reagan's one of these. People that read more than one book at the same time.
Yeah, Reagan is one of those.
What are you doing? Well, I shouldn't say that, because if you're reading like a self-help and like a
Yeah, I can see
fiction,
that.
I can do that. But like 2 fiction books or 2,
Yeah,
those
I know.
stories would be all looped together, and I absolutely
I
not.
can't do that either.
So if you're one of those, wow, you're built different.
You're built different.
You're spectacular.
You have 2 sections of your brain that are
And speaking of built different and spectacular, has nothing to do with what today's episode's about.
I was like waiting for you to read it. Like, go for it. Go for
But
it.
I want you to actually read the title that was written.
The title that was written.
Yeah.
Is
Because I went to breakfast with a friend this morning who is moving, and it was a joy. And we were sitting, and you sent me the text of, this is the topic for today. And I giggled. And I was like, man, I need this episode.
So the episode is how to stop being lazy and get your shit together, people. Which I feel is great for the new year. And we just did our goals. So if you haven't listened to that, go listen to that. And you yourself might have goals. So we're going to talk about how to not be lazy and get your shit together, people.
Did you write things down? I did.
Some.
Okay.
You want to go first?
How many things did you write down? Caroline and I need to start having meetings before we start recording instead of just jumping in. But the thing is, we don't like to catch up about the Shaun White stories and all the stories before we're recording.
Yeah.
And so we gotta work on our strategy there.
I have like 4 or 5.
Okay, I have 3, but I bet I can come up with a 4th.
Okay.
You start then.
Okay, so my first one, and this is something I'm newly practicing, so it's not like, guys, do what I say. Meditate and go to yoga.
Okay.
That's my first one. And I just feel like that helps ground you. Like now, and again, I've been, what day is it? The 9th. This is day 9 of me like stretching and like actually taking time to like.
Can you touch your toes yet?
No. I think it's going to take me a long time.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious because some people are a lot closer than they think. And so like 9
Yeah.
days of consistent stretching, you not accomplishing that yet does not mean you won't be able to do it.
No, I think it's going to take me not a while, but like not 9 days. But
I'm really excited about that for you
know.
for some reason.
I know. Never in my life have I ever been able to do that. But yeah, I feel like just breath work and yoga and just getting, I don't know, clear your mind and like being one with your body and really in tune is so important just to in life in general. And just a break from the outside world. I feel like if you're constantly like craving, just like not even craving, but just thinking, overthinking, intrusive thoughts and all this stuff, like it's hard to get things done because you're like, oh gosh, where do I even start? So yoga, meditating, all those good things.
And I
even
think,
just breath work.
Well, and I think a good thing that you touched on is that for you, meditation probably comes along with yoga. For those of you that are listening that aren't interested in yoga, just doing some research on meditation and finding what might fulfill that for you, because everybody's different. It doesn't have to look the same for every person. And so if it's not yoga, if it's a 5-minute walk outside, or
Right.
if it's, I don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Even like if you own an Apple Watch, I'm starting to wear
breathe
mine.
thing.
Yeah, the breathing thing. Like it sometimes prompts you to do it and I'm like, wow, thank you. And I'll like do it immediately. But even if it doesn't prompt you, you can like set it up and it like I think it's like 1 minute. Like it's
I
not
think it
very
is
long.
too.
I'm sure you can do longer, like program it to longer, but that in and of itself, it's like so amazing. But one time it went off and I was in the bathtub. I'm like, I am in heaven. Like, this is so nice. Like, breathing.
All
I'm
this
in
oxygen.
warm water. Like, it's amazing. So that's my first one.
Okay. My first, start making your bed.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Like, period. If you feel like you're going through this season where you feel lazy, you feel unproductive, you feel any kind of way, like you're having a hard time getting off of your rear end for whatever reason, I obviously think that it's really important to honor those feelings and have space for those feelings, but sometimes it just compounds and then we have a hard time even starting because we've lost all momentum. Yeah. And I think the making of the bed is at least for me, one of the easiest ways to get out of that destructive pattern, because if I get nothing else done,
right,
I made my bed. And when I walk in and I see my bed made, I feel better. I feel better about myself. I feel better about my space. I don't feel like getting back into my bed, you know?
Yeah, it's like the first task of the day.
Or whenever I take off for meetings or whatever I have to do that day, when I come home, I'm not like, oh, my bed's not made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
And I feel like, because like I grew up not being a bed maker, even though my mom like pounded me to. I was like, no, I'm not going to make my bed. But if you're someone like that, just try it. Like, it is actually life-changing.
I know that it's a hot topic. Like, I know that people are like, why would I make it just to get back in it?
Right.
And, you know, but I think it's about so much more than that. It honestly kind of reminds me of, and I had this on my list too, but it reminds me of people asking why the hell I get ready every day. They're like, you work from home. You don't see anybody. Like, where do you find the motivation to get up and put a little makeup on and do your hair? Well, one, my getting ready routine's like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't spend
She's not Michaela over here.
No, I wish. Like, I wish I could do my makeup like that. But I can't, and I don't. Occasionally for a wedding, I will spend 40 minutes doing my makeup, and that's like an all out, and I still don't look that different.
Yeah.
I get done, I'm like, I have to look like a whole different person. No. But I feel better. You know, like, I understand that when I get up for the day, that at the end of the day, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to put my hair up and I'm going to get in bed. But if you take away all of those things from yourself of like, well, why would I do that? Because I'm just going to undo it later. Well, we're also all eventually going to die.
Right.
Like, so why do anything at that point? And,
exactly.
And that's such a, I don't know. I understand the argument, and I also think it's okay, like I said earlier, to honor feelings like that sometimes and give yourself space to have days where I'm not getting ready. I don't feel like it. And, you know, I just need a day off. Like I said, yesterday for me.
Right.
I took the whole day. Told myself I was going to get ready during G's nap. I never got ready yesterday. It was great. It is okay to have space for those things sometimes. But I think that we way underestimate having those daily rituals that make ourselves feel good throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I always think about, because my mom told me this, like when I was younger, she was like, okay, Caroline, like when you go to a hotel room, they usually come and clean, like if you're there for a long amount of time or whatever. And she's like, doesn't it feel amazing when you go into the hotel room and your bed's made? I'm like, she's got a point. Like pretty sheets, like bed made, like, you know, they do it so nice. I'm like, oh yeah. So that's that. But I recently, so like I go over to my mom's to take a bath, and usually at night, not every night, but some nights. And her bed is like immaculate because, you know, she is fancy. And so she has like one of those big comforters, like the insert's really fluffy.
Does she double, or does she just have one of
She just has a really fluffy one.
Mine's really fluffy, but I've been thinking about doubling.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was like, should I double, or because I have one that's yellow and then one that's like an insert that's yellow and then a white insert. And I'm like, should I double that or just get the one my mom has? So I ordered it, the one my mom has, and it's coming in the mail tomorrow. So I'm so excited because I'm going to have this big fluffy thing and like really nice sheets. And I'm so happy about it.
Makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference.
I don't know what it is. I was going to note too that I think making my bed has helped my fall asleep time.
Really? Fall asleep time?
Yeah, like I have a hard time falling asleep at night. I'm somebody that my brain runs and I think about my to-do list and everything. And I really truly think that making my bed in the morning has helped my wind down.
Oh, yeah.
Because my brain's like, oh, we're unmaking the bed.
Right.
I don't actually know if that's what it is.
No, I can see that because sometimes I'm like that. I'm like, oh, like it's like peaceful. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Time for bed.
It's like this consistent thing. And I think that rest is really important in all of this whole dialogue too.
For sure. Yeah. Go to bed, people.
Yeah. What's
Go
your
to
next
bed.
thing?
My next thing was have a morning routine, kind of falls into this, but make a bed, whatever that looks like for you. Like if you follow people and they have this extensive like morning routine, you don't have to do that. Like start small.
Yeah. When did we start that where we think that if we have a morning routine, it needs to be that?
I don't know.
Because don't you kind of feel that way?
Yeah, it's like, oh, am I not doing enough? Am I not waking up early enough to get all this done? Yeah.
And I'm thrilled. I have a best friend, JC, who's been on the podcast, who is the 47-step morning and night routine girly. And she is dedicated to it. She loves it. It's been important to her as long as I've known her. Like she was the kid at the middle school sleepover that would like everybody would fall asleep and then she would get her little cosmetic bag out and like, sneak to the bathroom and do her 57-step skincare routine. She's best friends with me. She doesn't have an expectation other people do that.
Right.
And we don't need to have the expectation on ourselves that we do either in order to like be relevant or a quantifiable morning routine.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like, and it's taken me a while, like probably 2 years to kind of find my groove of like, what do I actually like doing in the mornings and like what actually grounds me. And I found that working out does ground me in some way, even if it's just a walk with my dog. But doing that, getting coffee, like seeing people face to face because I work from home, like going to a coffee shop, interacting with human beings, like just little things like that makes a huge difference. And what I've started to do too, and I did this some in 2022, but like this year I'm like, okay, I'm really going to do it because it really helps me, is writing out my day the night before, like scheduling out like what I'm going to do. And it honestly helps me wake up, like, because sometimes I set my alarm, and I think some of us are all guilty of this, but like set my alarm and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to swim, I'm going to do this. And then it goes off, it rings. I'm like, no, I'm tired, I'm sleeping. But I've noticed if I do write it down, like, okay, you're going to wake up at 6 and you're going to get out of the house by 6:30 to go do something, walk, do whatever, I'll do it. It's so
know
weird.
What change I made that has helped a ton with this? I don't wake up to a alarm tone anymore.
Oh, you don't?
No, I put my alarm on vibrate.
Oh.
And I've had no issues with it waking me up. And I get up so much easier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe that is true because, like, the sound of it is just dreadful.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, like, it's almost triggering. Like,
right.
Even when you hear it, like, in daytime, it's
and
triggering.
Sydney Adams is somebody I follow on TikTok who just is, like, seems lovely. She's a big, to me, like, routine girly. She's probably somebody that has a longer step process than I do. But she does a lot of gym content and lifestyle content. But I follow her and she's been raving about an alarm clock that she got. I don't know if it's the Hatch. I think of the Hatch as like a baby thing.
Oh, because it is a baby thing, isn't it?
It is like, I don't know.
Isn't Hatch a baby brand?
I thought it was, but like I didn't know about
different.
Hatch until I had G and people talking about the Hatch for children. Mm-hmm. But I feel like people have been talking about it for adults.
Yeah, I think it's different. Maybe it's the same.
I got my parents the baby one.
Oh, the baby one?
Yeah, and they use it because they use it for the sound machine part and the rising part. Yeah. But anyway, regardless, she's been raving about having an alarm clock that does the daylight And Matt's had an alarm clock like that for as long as I can remember, because in St. Louis, he lived in a apartment. His bedroom had no windows.
Oh.
I don't know how that was legal, but it is. But I just realized these headphones are literally falling off my head. I was like, I can't hear myself. This is weird. Anyway, neither of the bedrooms at his apartment had windows because it was in an old redone building. So they were pitch black.
Right.
People would come stay there and they'd be like, oh, I'm an early riser. Like, I'll be up at 6:30, 7. Like, don't worry about me. Like, we can go do whatever. They would come out of that room at like 11 a.m. and be like, what happened? What happened? It's like, well, you're an early riser because good on you. You're healthy.
Yeah.
You're allowing the sun to naturally create those whatever hormones or in your brain
wakes you up.
that work how they work. Like, that's awesome. But when you don't have any light, your body doesn't trigger the production of that. So I ended up giving Matt's alarm clock to my parents before I gave them the Hatch. So we haven't had it in our bedroom for a long time. But I've been thinking about investing in one of those again.
Yeah. No.
All that to say, waking up gentler.
Yeah.
I think it contributes.
I really want to get the Hatch. That's like on my list to do because like I got the bedding, I got all the things. I mean, not all the things. I still have stuff I want in my. You don't have you do have a headboard.
Do you see that little tiny brown thing you see in the
it's a
corner?
headboard.
You guys can't see. We're actually recording from my bedroom today in Matt and I's mic setup.
Yep.
But yeah, I want a new bed.
Yeah.
That is something I ordered new side tables last night.
Oh, you did?
I did.
That's fun.
That could have been my grounding moment too. I have so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I desperately want a new bed, but I really want a slip cover bed. And I have found 3 that I like.
I don't know what that is.
So
the ones that like.
So like kind of like that chair that you're seeing, that's slip cover.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But we can insert a picture of maybe a slip cover bed here. Caroline, I'm putting that on you. You can do it.
Yeah,
I'll send you the picture.
Okay.
But that's what I've really wanted. They're so expensive.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli. The least expensive one I've found that looked nice and had good reviews. There are tons that I've found in the like $1,800 to $2,400 range, which to me is still so expensive.
Yeah.
And the reviews have been awful.
Really?
Yeah. And so I've been looking at the ones with better reviews. They like range from $5,200 to $6,500.
Right.
I'm like, I keep being like, you know what? This hand-me-down wooden bed just seems to be working fine for us.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to talk myself into eventually investing in one. And it would be like, you know, I picked the fabric and I just really like the look. And I think that it's a look that is very just non-offensive to pretty much any style. And so we can keep it for a lifetime is my thought
That's
process.
True. Yeah. So we have a sleep number, which I'm obsessed with. Chris brought that to my life and I don't think I could ever live without it now. But since we have a sleep number, like, because I want the bed frame that like is all one, you know what I'm saying? Not just a headboard, but the whole package.
Yes.
But like with the sleep
Ours
number,
is.
yeah, what like yours is. But like with the sleep number, it's kind of touch and go. Like you have to get a certain one that can actually make the bed rise.
I have lots of information on this, so if you need help finding one.
But there's a couple things. So we have a queen, and Frankie sometimes sleeps with us, sometimes in her crate. Like she gets to pick now, but like I don't know, it's probably 50-50 she sleeps with us or chooses to, and so it's just kind of small. Like you have a king and I'm like jealous, but
it's life-changing.
Our queen is a sleep number, so I'm like like we'd have to get a king sleep number. It's all the things, you know. And it's like thousands of dollars.
So we're Tempur-Pedic people. And we had a queen size Tempur-Pedic.
Yeah.
We've been through this journey.
I know. It's like so first world problems, but it's like you said, it's like, our queen's not so bad. Like you go through that.
It changes so much about your comfort level, but you have to, at least for me, like it was something that we took our time with and we waited until we could afford it. And I'm so grateful for it though.
Yeah, I know. So anyways, with that all being said, I'm like, okay, in my thought process, we are going on and on about this, but anyways, my thought process is just get a headboard, just get a simple headboard that I like. It's cute. Even making one I've thought about. And then when I invest in like all the other things, I'll just do it like all at once.
Why don't you just make a headboard and a footboard?
Because I don't really care that much. Like, I want the whole thing, or I just want a headboard. Because right now we don't have any headboard. It looks like a college dorm, in my opinion.
That's how I feel. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
We gotta get back on track, guys.
Anyways, morning routine, get one, however that looks like. Even if it's just like drinking water or like making your bed. Like, even like some days, like we said, is you have off days, and that's fine. And if you can just make your bed, just one step, you're gonna do great. You're fine.
Yep. My next one is write down the things that are making you feel lazy or that are making you feel like you're unproductive. Like, because if you're feeling that way, it's likely linked to something.
Yeah.
So write down, I'm not making forward progress on XYZ or whatever it is. And that's going to give you a really solid to-do list. But you want to take it a step further than that, because looking at that list is just going to make you feel anxious and not want to start. The thing you need to do from there is then breaking down a few of those things into super tiny goals. So tiny. So a big thing for me in the last year that's been making me feel unproductive and just kind of lazy is the clutter in my house.
Yeah.
And so last fall, Matt and I really sat down and we're like, okay, we're very overwhelmed by this. I'm embarrassed by it for sure, because I feel like I've let it go too far, and I'm embarrassed by the abundance of things that I have and that I've allowed myself to receive. And I'm embarrassed that I haven't done anything about it consistently. And now I don't want to take care of it because it feels so overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So we broke it down to like a drawer a day. One drawer. Or one, just something so small. Like it takes 10 minutes.
Right.
Commit to that for a week. 4 or 5 days. All of a sudden you start seeing that you're making progress. And if you feel like you can do more than that,
do it.
It's kind of like getting your foot in at the gym. Just saying all you have to do is go to the gym and walk for 10 minutes on the treadmill.
Right.
If you still feel like going home, go home. Rarely do you feel like going home.
It's just getting there. And it's like same with swimming, like just jump in the pool. Like once I'm in the pool, it's fine. Jumping is the worst part. It's like just start.
I think driving to the pool.
Yeah, all of it. The whole process of getting to the pool.
Like getting there, but I always feel so good. And so it's really establishing that consistently, and I think breaking those down into really small achievable things that you can do. Like if you need to take an entire evening after work to chill, 10 minutes of going through a drawer, no matter how dreaded, isn't going to cut into you being able to chill for the entire evening.
For sure. And what I like to do is set timers, because I like to like make a competition out of it. If I'm really not feeling it, I'm like, okay, all I want to do is read or like do nothing. I'm like, Caroline, set a timer, do the dishes. And like, I'll do it as fast as I can and it's done. I'm like, wow, that was easy. And usually it takes me like no time. Like for the Christmas tree.
Taking the Christmas tree down, it's one of my favorite activities.
I don't love
I'm
it,
a weirdo.
but it takes 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Literally 2 seconds. Like, so I know I said I was going to take mine down before Chicago. That didn't happen because we ended up leaving like at the crack of dawn on Christmas Day. So I was kind of mad about that. I was like, okay. But I was like, whatever. Don't let it ruin your trip, Caroline. Of course it didn't. And so I went to Chicago, did things, and then I came back and we took it down probably like right before New Year's. And for us, that's like kind of late. And so I was like, Caroline, just do it. Just tackle it. Just start it. It literally took me maybe 10 minutes. And Chris was like, wow, you put that up really fast. And I'm like, I wasn't even trying to go fast. Like it literally just takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me.
You work it up in your head.
You work it up in your head. And it's about everything, especially for me, like cleaning my car out, doing this. it does not take that long to do little tasks.
No.
It's just so daunting and our brain tricks us.
Well, but what happens is it builds up. That's the issue, is you let it build up and then you feel like you have to do it all at once in order to get back to
yes,
the
level point.
yes.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that. Stop putting that on yourself because it's not realistic. Like, you didn't fall into this this season of disarray in one day.
Right.
You can't expect yourself to pull yourself out of it in one day. You just can't. And I'm really guilty of that. I
think a lot of people are.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm lazy. I stink. My house is messy. You know,
like, how do we get back to, especially, our house? I'm like, Chris, how do we get this back in order? Like, we need to get like, I tell them all the time, we need to get like a star chart. Like, okay, like, we're going to get this.
You get a star and you get a star.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay, it's really not that hard. I mean, again, if you let it get that far, yes, it's like, okay, I don't want to do this. I want to hire someone or
it is that hard. It's funny because it's not that hard and it is that hard.
Right. Right.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I
always do my favorite task first, though, which I probably should do the opposite, but
do you really?
Like laundry.
Oh, me too.
You know?
Yeah, that's the stuff that doesn't get really behind. Like, Matt doesn't mind doing the kitchen. He resets the kitchen every single night.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then he's like, well, I did the kitchen. I'm like, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
You like doing the kitchen. Want to know what neither of us likes? The garage.
Right, right.
So, yes, I've been resetting the living room every night for months. You've been resetting the kitchen every night for months. And we're proud of ourselves. But the garage looks
different story.
like a dump.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're both avoiding it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes I wish I was like really type A and like my spouse or boyfriend was type A.
I don't.
I don't, but like sometimes I do.
I was raised by someone who
type
is
A, yeah.
very type A. And I don't say that as I'm upset by how our relationship was because he was type A. I say that because I see how hard it is for my dad to relax.
Yeah.
He wants to finish everything that he possibly could on the to-do list before he will sit down. And he can't chill. And he desperately wants to just chill.
Yeah.
And it's so hard for him.
Yeah.
And I don't envy that.
Right. That's true. I haven't thought about that.
I don't envy that at all. I envy the result of that.
Yeah.
But I think that, I don't know. I think it's easier for people who are not quite so type A to find balance.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I think that's true.
But maybe not.
But your house is clean, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. But your house is nice and clean.
Yeah.
The car always smells new.
Yeah. I cleaned Chris's car out. So like on Chris's mom's Christmas list, it was someone detailed Chris's car, and so I just did that like a week ago. So he went to work, and I was like, I'm gonna take your car, and he's like, okay. So I cleaned it out. Where am I going with this? I'm not like trying to toot my own horn or anything, but sounds like it. Oh, I hate going to the car wash. Hate it because like people think it's so relaxing and like
I don't have any feelings toward it.
Oh, I feel like people love the car wash. Like they have memberships and they do this. Like
we have a membership to the car wash.
Yeah, I knew you did.
But it's not because I love the car wash.
I also think that's a good gift for those like needing to give a gift to someone. I'm like, wow, that would be a really good gift.
That'd be a good gift for a new mom.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe not. For me, like when I had G, I feel like that would have been a good gift for me and my personality.
Yeah. And it like gives a mom something to do, I guess.
Some people might get really offended by that. I always say things like that. And then people are like, oh my God, I would be so offended. Because I said I thought it would be a really good gift to get somebody a gift card or a free clean from somewhere so that somebody comes and like deep cleans their house upon there. And they're like, oh no, I would be so offended that they were saying my house wasn't clean enough.
No,
like,
come all. Clean my house.
No, me too. I'm like, my house is not as clean as I would like it.
Right. I'm like, well, how I think about it, it's like you're not cleaning my house. You hired someone else. Like I would be embarrassed if you came over and cleaned
it was so dirty that I was like, you know what? Screw whatever we were gonna do today. You need help.
Need your house. Yeah, I'd be offended. I'd be like, okay. I'm not offended, but I'd be like, that's kind of weird. But anyways, I don't get people that are like love the car wash because, and I'm gonna scar everyone, hopefully not, but my friend growing up, her mom drove this like really nice car, like always loved going to the car wash. the car wash malfunctioned and literally like bashed her whole car in while she was in it. Terrifying. And she had a dog in the car. It's not funny. It is not funny. But I always think that, and it like triggers something in my body.
She was okay, wasn't she?
She was fine, but her car was literally totaled.
Yeah, but like they fixed it.
They fixed it, but you know how you can't get out. We can't get out of the car wash.
I don't know if that would really do it. I mean, I can understand, but that doesn't freak me out that much.
I think what it is
I
was young. Like I was like
my
8.
traumatizing.
Listen, I was like 8, and so that's traumatizing.
Yeah,
and so it's like grew with me.
No, totally. So I was 16. This is my traumatizing story, and I was coming home from morning swim practice in my car in just my swimsuit, which I don't know how relevant. That's not really relevant to the story, but it is relevant to the like fear that I felt as a female alone in my car in just a swimsuit. It wasn't relevant in terms of like what it didn't happen to me because of that.
Yeah.
But there was a man sitting between the car wash and the gas station. Don't know why. Don't know. But I drove my car into the car wash and the doors came down on it. And he came under
in the car wash?
Into the car wash with me and like banged on my window. And I'm guessing was like wanting money or I don't know.
Right.
Still to this day, I don't know. Because then the car wash turned on and he like went over to the corner as I got on the track and my car started pulling through so that he didn't get like
sprayed,
power washed to death. I don't know.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
He got arrested.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Good. I came home and was like, Dad, the craziest thing just happened to me. And he was like, you didn't think to call the police from the car wash. You didn't. And I was like, I know. I don't know that he intended harm as much. Like, again, I think part of why it freaked me out so much is because I was a 16-year-old girl alone in my car, like in my swimsuit from swim practice with wet hair. Like, I was like, what do I do?
I don't know.
That's my terrifying car wash story. Yeah.
Just put your head down and pray to the gods above to be safe.
Well, once the car wash was on, I was like, I'm good.
That's true. Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? I at no moment during it did I feel like he was trying to harm me.
That's good.
You know what I mean? It was scary, but not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and the car wash ends, you know.
Well, right. Well, like, and he
keep going.
He couldn't follow me through the car wash because it wasn't one of the big ones where like people work. It was like the gas station one.
Like the garage ones.
Yeah, that just one car's in it at a time and it's completely closed in and there's not a lot of walk space or anything like that.
Yeah, no, totally get it.
Wow, we are so off track.
Anyways, and clean your car out. Like clean your space, clean your area, declutter, hire someone. I feel like that's a good, like you said, a good way to get you moving and grooving. Like if my space is messy, I'm like, I just want to do nothing because I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Good New Year's resolution is to take the trash out of your car.
Yes.
Every time you get out of the car.
Yes. Another one, workout, exercise. I feel like that helps boost. Like, okay, this is my 75 hard update because I know I'm trying to update you guys every time. I have so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed today because I'm like trying to be more self-conscious about my body, not just like going through the motions and like, I don't know. I feel like I'm guilty.
You're trying to be more self-aware.
Yeah. What did I say? Self-conscious.
I just wanted to clarify. I'm
trying to be more self-conscious and you should too. No. Self-aware of like how I'm feeling, like why I'm feeling the way I am and all the things. And today is the first day I'm like, I have so much energy. It was like 8 a.m. I'm like, I'm jacked, ready for the day. And I'm still kind of like that. And it's like 12:30. So
you know what made me in tune with my body? Like I don't think anything else can make you in tune with your body. Not pregnancy. Birthing a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unmedicated. Well, it might be the same way medicated. I don't know. I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
But like being able to feel something move inside of you, like through your birth canal and out, like it makes you hyper aware of how
things function.
Well, just I think people don't realize how well we can actually gauge and tell our bodies.
Yeah.
And maybe other people don't need to give birth to do that, but I did.
You're like, that was a wake-up call for me.
Ideally, you don't need to give birth to get there. So I'm proud of
Yeah.
you for trying to figure that out. But that was whenever for me, I was like, oh, wow, I can really be in tune with
Yeah.
how things, whatever, pregnancy too, I guess, but really giving birth.
Yeah. Never done it. So trust, yeah.
Yeah. Just trust me on that one for now.
I'm honestly, like, I used to be really terrified of birth, and now I'm like, eh. Like, and I think it's just because more people I know have had birth. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and I hope that you're hearing more,
Positive.
not even positive, just like empowering stories, if
Yes.
anything. Because I think it's really important for women to know all the different crazy things that happen, but feeling empowered by them and empowered by that knowledge rather than made to fear that knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway,
true.
more self-aware.
More self-aware, not self-conscious. And where was it? Oh yeah, exercising. Again, if it's like a 10-minute walk on your lunch break, if you buy one of those treadmills and walk under your desk. I don't know how people do that. Have you seen
I would
those?
bounce.
I don't know how people type.
That I can do. The thing that, because I used to take my computer and stuff to the treadmill. That I can do. The problem is people that are on meetings and taking meetings. I don't understand that, because if I was on your meeting and you were,
Yeah.
it would drive me bonkers,
Yeah,
which is, I guess, a me issue. But that's what I think about is as they're walking, like you just
They're
have this
bouncing.
natural, and you don't do that in a chair.
Right.
I think I just have to get used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I always think about,
Yeah.
though.
I don't know. Whenever I do go on a treadmill, not one that I own, but the gym one, people are like legit on their phones, like just texting, calling, like doing things. And like I can do that. It's possible. But like I'm like, I don't want to do that.
But you can do stuff on your bike.
I can do stuff on my bike,
That makes no sense.
which is stolen. That's a new update is I might get a bike. Catherine, my boyfriend's sister, has been sending me some, and she sent me one that looks exactly like my old one. I'm like, maybe it is it. So I'm like rebuying it back. But I haven't decided if I'm going to get it,
the
but I think
circle
so.
of the bike life.
Yeah. Anyways, but I don't understand how people do that. Also, like, I want to like not be on my phone while I'm working out. I don't know.
That's fair.
Like this is my me time and I'm going to do this. But anywho,
I try to not be on my phone like ever now.
yeah, that's good.
Truly.
My Apple Watch has helped with that. I think I've already talked about that, but like just getting notifications and being like, oh, okay, not a big deal. I don't need to pick up my phone and check Instagram.
At breakfast today, I said that earlier today that I went to breakfast with a friend. My phone was going crazy.
Oh, really?
I had it like flipped over, but the whole table kept going zzz,
Oh.
zzz, and I ignored it the whole time. I had talked to, the only time my phone buzzes that I get nervous is at my parents. But I knew like G was like, there wasn't anything I was super worried about. So I didn't pick it up or anything. And whenever I got there, it was all different stuff, but I had like 57 unread texts.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if it was just, it's Monday morning and people were like,
This is
let's
what's up.
go.
Yeah.
But I had so many. There was one group message in there. That was it.
Dang.
What's happening?
I hate when you're in a group, not hate, but like it's a good problem to have when you're in a group message and like you miss everything and the conversation's over and you have to like go back and read and then it's like too late.
And you really
to
can't
respond.
take part in it. And you're like, oh, I would have thrown this one liner in here.
Yeah. It's like, oh well, next time.
I feel that.
Next time, buddies. Anything else?
No, those are my main things.
Yeah. I think read a self-help book. I know that's not for everyone, but helps me for sure.
If you're listening to this and you like this podcast, but you're anti self-help book, I think you're probably wrong about yourself.
If you say you're anti,
Yeah, because not to let me, speak for you, but I feel like we're very much in that genre of listener. Like I feel that's the kind of person, somebody that would love a self-help book,
listens
probably
to us.
enjoys listening to us.
Yeah, that's true.
So
So what's
But
happening?
try it. That's all I'm saying is try it. If you don't like it, you know
okay.
you best. But
Yeah. And there's a lot out there. If you don't like one, just pick another one.
yeah. Follow Caroline on TikTok. Remember,
On
her goal of the year
TikTok.
is to grow on TikTok.
To grow on TikTok.
So I'm just going to mention that at the end of every episode. Oh, and
Thank
rate and
you.
review us. Subscribe.
Share this on the Instagram.
Yeah, share it on your story. Tell all your friends to listen.
Mm-hmm. Because you love us.
Yeah, and we love you.
And have a great rest of your week. Love ya.
Bye.